Here is our con review of WeCon. But first,
Hey, y'all know who it is. Let's go. We here, WeebCon 2025.
Yay!
Guys, WeebCon. Got Green Adventures here. My food peeps. My food peeps. Let's go. I love food. I do.
Hey, remember, honestly, if you want to know about food up in the Dallas area, he's the guy, bro.
Yes.
He's the guy.
But soon, Houston. We got Houston Adventures to go through. Yes.
You already know.
Houston food. I'm so excited to try Houston food with you guys. All the burger places in Houston, we're coming for you.
Yeah.
We're coming for you. We're coming for you.
Like,
Calling it. Yeah. I'm excited.
Hey y'all, what's good? What's happening? We are back with another convention review. This time, this is at WeebCon in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Irving, by the way. This is our third time going, I believe. Last year, when we reviewed them, they had an average score of B-. Okay? B-. So, wanted to go see how much they improved, if they improved. This time they also had it in the Irving Convention Center. Very different. Normally they have it at the Gaylord. Not sure what happened, but you know, it was very different having it there. I will say parking compared to the Gaylord was a lot cheaper. When we parked at the Gaylord, I think I paid about $30-something for the duration that we would park there per day. But at the convention center, I think I only paid like $15. So I guess that's a plus. You know, you don't have to pay as much to park there. I honestly thought the convention center, because it really looks big on the outside, but when you walk in, it ain't that big. Not to mention, they only had like one elevator and one escalator, like one main one, and they usually take it up 2 floors. I mean, not gonna lie, I wasn't really a fan of waiting in line, but that wasn't in WeebCon's control. I guess that was the people that's over the convention center per se. All right, Ardana, I want you to go ahead and start unpacking all that you need to say about WeebCon, because you know, we got 15 minutes, so you know, bear with us with this long video, y'all, because I mean, this is a good one.
Alright, so normally I don't do long videos like this, but I find that it's necessary. So everything I say, it doesn't have to be applied to WeebCon, but it can also be applied to conventions. So let me go ahead and start off with the tickets first.
And mind you, okay, we do con reviews, all right? You know, we want you guys to understand that, you know, nobody really ever does this. You know, so if there's a con that you thought about going, but you end up missing it, then you guys can like see what we thought about it, and then make your judgment about it. See if that'd be something you can go to next year. Oh yeah, go ahead.
All right, so tickets. Okay, so the pricing, I mean, it was all right. I mean, still, in some cases, it was a little bit expensive. Now, granted, we were the DLC people, which is not really that different from like general. But as far as ticketing pricing, it was okay. I mean, I do appreciate the fact that I think we've kind of utilized like a different ticketing system, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, it wasn't like as crazy like it was last year, because the pricing last year was kind of crazy.
No, last year was kind of astronomical, and I was just like, for what we paid for it really didn't make any sense.
Yeah. Now, I did have like a concern, because I think at one point we kind of had resent my tickets, and it was like under like a different QR code. I don't know what happened, so whatever happened, I'm glad they did send it. But my advice to y'all is that whenever y'all have ticketing that's associated with QR codes and stuff, make sure that issue is tackled way in advance, because you have people that's traveling from not only out of state but out of country that's actually coming to WeebCon. So as far as ticketing, you want to make sure you resolve those issues, because there were cases where some people didn't even receive their ticket, or the ticket was invalid. So you want to make sure that type of issue is tackled before the days of the event. Okay?
Didn't that happen in their Discord? Didn't you read some of that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's why I brought that up, because that actually happened. But somebody in their Discord said they didn't even receive the tickets, and it was like invalid. It was like a bunch of mess. So as far as ticketing, whatever ticketing system y'all use, make sure you test it first, and then if it's okay and everything's going fine, then release it to the public. That way is to prevent like issues from that. Now as far as DLC perks or VIP perks, I do remember last year a lot of people didn't receive some of the DLC stuff and whatever. Now I did notice that they did was able to handle DLC stuff and other extra perks a little bit better. I mean, the difference is not as much, but I can see that we kind of really tried to make sure that people were able to get, you know, the additional items that came with their DLC or VIP stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so, you know, that makes a lot of sense. Let's see. I think WeebCon, you know, granted, like I said, it was in a much different space, and you know the Gaylord is way bigger than that small convention center. I think they used the space as the best that they could. So on the top floor they had a lot of the voice actors there. Like it was nothing but voice actors on the outside and within like the main room itself. On the floor beneath that, I think they had like a lot of the artist alley stuff. I think I seen like some what you call it, gunpla, where you can like build like figurines and all that. And then they had like panel rooms for like a lot of the fan related stuff. So I mean, I thought that was pretty good. Let's see what else. Oh, and on the first floor, well, I guess the ground floor, they had a lot more vendor-related stuff and a lot of voice actors and all that. Now, one of my main issues or main gripes with this, so, you know, we was there for all 3 days, right? And, you know, being that we knew some of the people that was going to be there, we wanted to see as many folks as we could. Right, so I think with Dardana, didn't we go to the top floor at first, and you know we saw Zeno and Crystal, right?
Yeah.
And then they was like, well, hey, we're gonna go do the Persona 3 panel. Mm-hmm. I was like, cool, bet, let's do it. You know, we'll go ahead and be there and support you guys, because you know, shout out to Zeno, Crystal, and Alexis, loved them to death. That's family. But you know, we wanted to go there and support them, right? So when we left out the where all the voice actors are, we checked the map. We look on the map like, where is this stuff at? And so we went to the floor beneath it to where all the panels and stuff are. And then I was just like, Donna, I don't think this is right. And so we standing up there in front of the map looking like we lost, like we some lost puppies with big eyes. And I'm just like, I don't think we're gonna find this. And then come to find out, literally the next day, because you know, like I said, we ended up missing it. The next day, we found out that they were utilizing the space across the street. Now, Ardana, did you see on the website that they was even using that hotel? I know they were saying that they were allowing people to stay, or I guess they had like the whole booking thing. But what about like some of the spaces there? Because I didn't check it out. Okay,
so that brings me to the next point, is the venue space. And now my brother, he did touch upon a few points, but I'm just gonna go ahead and reiterate. So this is me speaking from an event planner's perspective. So whenever you have a venue space, you want to be able to pinpoint what areas that you're gonna use. Okay. Now, in a sense, I did know they was gonna use the other hotel area, but I didn't know what it was for. I mean, it was listed on the website, but as far as mapping is concerned and stuff, it wasn't consistent to what we saw on the signs, because you have to keep in mind, not all attendees will have access to your website, so you want to have adequate signage. Keyword is adequate, okay? Because the signs that I saw, it was okay. It was like, you know, the map of the space of where things are, but it would have helped if you had signage that point direction, because again, you have to keep in mind what venue you're utilizing, and you're gonna have a lot of attendees attending the convention center, so you want to make sure that the signage is consistent across the board. Like, let me give you an example. Like on the map, which showed like the other hotel, it said main event in that whole area, and that was it. It didn't really specify rooms in the map and stuff. I mean, thankfully, I was able to look at the hotel, the actual hotel maps, because the hotel itself, they had their own map, and they was able to list what rooms were what, and that was really helpful. So whenever you get a venue space, please make sure to list out all the rooms of what is happening where. And I did try to use the WeebCon app, and that didn't really help in my opinion, because all it said was main event. Because I think I remember telling my brother that, I'm like, main event, and I do remember seeing on the main map, but it didn't really detail like what rooms are what. So please make sure, I can't emphasize enough, that when you're using a big venue, I mean, whenever you're using a venue that's either small, medium, large, please have not only physical maps, but also have directions to point what is what. Like, for example, Artist Alley. I didn't even know what it was until somebody like hand drew a thing and just tape it on the wall, even though that was can be easily missed. But whenever you have maps, please have directional signage, because it was a lot of people in the venue space. And like my brother said, WeCon did try to use the available space to the best of their ability. It's just that the way how WeebCon used it, it wasn't sufficient enough, and that's where all the confusion ended up happening, if that makes sense.
Right. Let's talk about, well, I will say, you know, I did appreciate that they had the retro gaming thing. I thought that was pretty dope. So shout out to them. It was really fun. Playing, of course, all the games that we used to play a long time ago. Food, they had food in the hotel. So I thought that was pretty cool. But I always say, if you're going to a new city, please ask what's local. You know, we actually tried out 3 different restaurants, and all 3 different restaurants were really good. So, you know, I'm gonna make sure I tag the places in the video. Let's see what else. I mean, overall, I had a good experience, and I did see some improvement, but I feel like being as big as they are, I guess I was expecting a bit more, you know? So I'm gonna ask you, Ordonna, just like last year, what grade would you give it, considering everything?
I mean, I'm gonna say they get a B, because like I said, they did try. I mean, like, for example, last year there were security concerns, and then they was able to address it. It's just that the way it was implemented, it seemed like it was upsetting the people. But I think that's more so the venue, because it seemed like most of the stuff that happened that rubbed people the wrong way was, you know, under the mercy of the venue. Now keep in mind, guys, one of the main reasons why WeebCon decided to have the venue at Irving is because of, you know, calendar reasons. That was the only space that was available during that time. And the fact, the experiences from Gaylord, because I do remember a lot of people were complaining how Gaylord staff was treating people negatively, even though the Gaylord has a nice space and stuff. If the staff is crap, then there's no point in like hosting a convention there. Now, if they do plan to host WeebCon back at Gaylord, I would recommend them to talk to staff to how to effectively run it to where it's not going to upset the attendees.
Right. So yeah, I'm cool with that. Let's see, volunteers. I didn't really listen to any volunteers. At least not like that. I mean, there was some that was kind of.
They didn't know what they were doing. They wasn't informed. So, like I said, I stress again, make sure your volunteers are informed too.
Yeah. So there's that. I mean, I'll have to give them a B as well. I guess considering everything. So, was there improvement? Yes, there was improvement from last year. So that's a good thing. But, you know, we would like to see more, considering this is not their first rodeo, okay? So, you know, I'm thankful for that. One last thing. I did enter in a fighting game tournament. Mind you, because I work so much, I didn't really like. I mean, I got runner up, so that was cool. But it was fun, man. It was really fun. You know, doing something I ain't played in like since 2009. It was really cool. I will say, like I said, B. Both of us agree they overall grade is a B. So I mean, if you see them coming out, next year, make sure you guys check them out. Okay, I think you guys might like it. All right, y'all. With that being said, we're gonna holler at y'all later. The Green Kids Adventures sign off. Y'all have a very, very blessed day. Peace, and we are out.